Now, I think Gator, you wanted to talk about the Jared Holt shit rat connection. If you wanted to talk about that, are you still here, Gator?
Yeah, I'm still
Yeah,
here.
go ahead.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so we ended up uncovering that shit rat and Kraut because they sourced an article to Jared Holt that they helped their buddy. He's called Liberal Sanitation Project, something like that. He made this hit piece against Black Pigeon Speaks, accusing him of being a plagiarist. And then lo and behold, in this Stefan Molyneux hit piece about Stefan Molyneux being a plagiarist, Jared Holt links to the video and talks about Black Pigeon Speaks. Coach Redpill kind of exposed that he had a little insider information that Kraut and T and David Shitrat are working and sourcing articles for Holt, who apparently has some sort of secret journal list of his own where he's working with all of these different people and like Kelly Wheel and others, giving them information, sourcing articles basically so that they can go up the chain. I wanted to kind of pick your brain on that because I know that you talked about Michael Hayden of Storyful in regards to the Wall Street Journal hit piece against us.
Yes. Okay. Well, this is all these people know each other. Okay. And they're all working for the, I don't know a better word for it than sort of like the Antifa J left media complex. And Jared Holt is an employee of Right Wing Watch, which is a subsidiary website from People for the American Way. People for the American Way is a lobbying so-called public interest, basically NGO that goes back to I think this possibly the 70s or the 80s, founded by Norman Lear, the guy who produced All in the Family. So that Jewish guy produced this kind of sitcom making fun of this working class white guy who kind of overplayed his hand and made the working class white guy somebody that everyone loves. But anyway, that's
I was going to say, to be fair, All in the Family is pretty good. But
no, All in the Family is great, but you got when you look at it, remember, it's not meant to be. You're supposed to. Archie Bunker is supposed to be the villain, and then it's like everyone loved him. So but whatever. That's beside the point, though. The issue is that People for the American Way is a leftist. Is a liberal leftist organization. They're the ones that run Right Wing Watch, which is what Jared Holt works for. He has then connections through that to the rest of the sort of J left media complex. I think Kelly Whale works for the Daily Beast or
Daily Beast,
Raw Story, or one of those two. They're the same.
It's Daily Beast, yeah.
They're basically the same. Raw Story and the Daily Beast.
Well, she just did an article, I think it was last week, Gator, where David Shitrat, the guy we were making fun of for 30 minutes earlier, was quoted extensively, and he was pushing a lot of these stories out. Kraut, I don't know how familiar you are with Kraut and T, but
I know all about the Kraut.
Yeah, I figured you did. They're kind of in league together, and they're pushing out a bunch of stories from Holt. Kraut himself was actually quoted in a Holt article. They did a hit piece against James Alsop. And said he tried to, torture based mama or some shit with the Kilroy stuff. Which is just,
I don't even understand. I didn't pay as much to the Kilroy stuff, but the thing is, like, this group of people all works together, and they do have connections. So Kraut, if he does have a connection to Holt, also Kraut had a connection to the woman at the New York Times. This is all a complex of people that are working in this sphere, and their purpose is to smear, defame, and discredit people that are dissidents online, whether they be coming out of the alt-right or Gamergate or whatever other milieu that arose online that is not approved by this mainstream media complex. So funny. So Kraut wanted to be like this skeptic, atheist guy, bucking the system, libertarian guy, like, I'm going up against like the powers. But then it's like, bro, you're just kissing up to. Now, what do? You kiss up to the New York Times and to like these people all the way up the chain of power, to the top levels of the Democrat Party or whatever else it might be. Like, you have directly become like a snitch for the establishment. That's what Kraut is. That's all he'll ever be.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how many YouTube followers you have, your stupid, phony British accent, which sounds supercilious and obnoxious and everyone hates it. And your dumb videos where you say stupid shit in a smart sounding accent, which makes you even a bigger asshole. Like, forget about it. You're nothing. The guy's a nothing. He's literally a big nothing. But he thinks because he's got these connections to these liberal media outfits that just want to smear people that go against like the liberal narrative online. And they're all connected. Jared Holt, Michael Hayden. Michael Hayden doesn't even work for Storyful anymore. You know where he works? He works for the SPLC. He just got this job a couple weeks ago.
You can't even make the shit up. Yes, he did. He announced it on
all
Twitter.
of these people work together.
Bastards. They think they're Matthew Hopkins, the Witchfinder liberal these days.
But these people Hopkins, are working for
too,
the most powerful people in the world and the people with the most money in the world, and the best funded and the wealthiest NGO in the country is the SPLC. And if you think that you're out there, and what are you doing? You're going out there trying to go against working class people because they made a racist joke? This is your mission in life? Michael Hayden got me kicked off of Twitter a year ago, or a little bit less than a year ago, because I criticized the bombing of Syria. It's like, bro, aren't you supposed to be some like leftist?
No.
Aren't you supposed to be like, I criticized the bombing of Syria. This is the impetus for me to get kicked off Twitter, according to Michael Hayden. And he was saying it was because his excuse was, oh, you were promoting conspiracy theories because I said like the gas attacks in Syria were fake. Well, they were fake. We know now that they were fake. We have evidence that they were fake. So I was right. Anyway. I started to get a little heated about this.
No, it's okay. Go ahead, Alex. I think you're going to say something. Go.
Well, yeah, I was just going to say that these are witch finders. Like, they are literal, they're doing witch hunting.
Yeah.
These are zealots. These are zealots. They honestly believe if they don't stamp out the evil heretic Nazis, the Fourth Reich is going to take over the world and commit global genocide.
I'm almost saying, like, well, I'm not saying.
I mean, that's so super stupid.
Be careful. All right, super chat. Wotan005. He gave a super chat, didn't say anything. Dizzy Dizzle says, Ralph play Damn, That's an Ugly Baby by Stephen Lynch later, please.
Dude, I used to love Stephen Lynch.
Map180 says, this one goes out to Mike and the gang. Thanks for all the fiery hot takes. Love TDS. Norge Prod.
Thanks, man.
All right, thanks, man.
Despised username says, during Katrina, a doc fled to tell CNN about the staff discussing implementing triage since he considered it murder and caused people, especially certain media figures, to want the staff to be charged with murder if they had implemented triage. I kind of know what you're talking about, but it's so long ago.
Media's fucking stupid, man. Like, they don't understand. Okay, well, the big problem is they're all lefties, and lefties don't get scarcity, right? They don't understand there's a limited amount of resources, and you cannot treat every patient, right? Like, you have to prioritize who you treat. But I digress.
I find that odd because triage is a standard practice
component of emergency medicine. Like, it's just very basic. Like, I worked triage in emergency room for a long time. Like,
we know there's one ambulance company that doesn't do triage.
True.
Or at least they triage differently. Their priorities are different. Like,
it's color coded, one might say.
Are you a member of our tribe or are you not? That's how we triage. It doesn't matter if you're a black child underneath a station wagon that some guy just hit. We got to make sure the scrape on this guy's forehead is okay. Before we worry about that, and then we won't even worry about that anyway. People might know what we're talking about. But
0212 says free speech is free speech. Nobody deserves to be deplatformed. For fuck's sakes, it's a very slippery slope. I agree with that, but somebody's laughing, talking a lot of shit. I'm not exactly going to cry my eyes out, but yeah, I do agree with that. Yeah, go ahead.
Everything's more fun if everyone has free speech. It's just more fun. Everyone gets to throw their hat in the ring. Everybody gets to break everyone else's balls. Everyone. It's like whatever. Like, why would you not want this as the environment for? Like, why would you not want this? Is what the internet was supposed to be. This is what this thing is. Like, why would you not want to have an environment where everyone throws their hat in the ring? And everyone breaks balls, and like people are just competing constantly on. It's just, that's, to me, it's a dynamic, it's a fun thing. Like, why would you not want that? The only reason you wouldn't want that is because you have no arguments.
Yeah, because you're a witchfinder.
Because you're defending a corrupt and evil system that has no arguments.
0212 says, we in the UK fucking despise Carl, by the way. He thinks we like him, but none of us would piss on him if he was on fire. True story. Rather shove my dick in a melting gold pot for the Jews. Comfy Blanky says, here's my super chat for extremism. Love you guys. Thank you very much.